Om Tat Sat. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Humble prostrations to the universal divine energy in the form of Adi Guru, Sri Shankaracharya ji, my worshipful Guruji, Sri Swami Jyotirmayanand ji, all sages and saints of this world, and to you divine souls watching this video. Today we are going to start with verse number 6 of Bhaja Govindam. यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् प्रेक्षति कुशलं गेहे ओम 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 हरि ओम 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 हरि ओम 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 गतवति वायो देहापाये भार्या भिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते संप्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहीं नहीं रक्षति दृकुंकर्णे. Okay. So verse number 6, Shankaracharya ji says, Yavat pavano nivasati dehe. Till one is alive, family members inquire kindly about his welfare. Tavat prichhati kushalam gehe. They'll ask, how are you doing? How's everything? Gatavati vayu deha paye. But when the vital air or the prana departs from the body, Bharya bhibhyati tasmin kai. Who's your closest person? Your spouse, your wife. Even the bharya or the wife fears from the corpse, and we call it a dead body. All the name and identification is gone. So this is the fact that Shankaracharya ji brings to our attention. He says, as long as the breath is there, only till then we are asked. Now same thing happens, we lose people and we move on and we move on, but we don't remember every single forefather who existed here. So these are the realities of life. So what Shankaracharya ji is trying to guide us is saying, remember God, that's where you have come from, that's where you need to go back to, and all this coming and going, and moreover you've had many bodies over many lives. So this is your opportunity to introspect and think of the temporary nature of things. That's what Shankaracharya ji is trying to say. And I remind you in every verse, we normally don't feel like thinking of these things. We don't want to have a life insurance policy because it's painful. We have to think of our mortality. The same thing with your spiritual work also. We have to realize that it is extremely important for our evolution and for our mukti. So Shankaracharya ji is doing the job of a tough guru, of a tough mother that has to make the child sit down and study, who does not feel like studying. He wants to play. And this is where the sages and saints are so important in our lives, because they show us the light. I will share with you a story of Buddha and his sincere devotee Kumara. He was very attached to Buddha, and he said, Buddha, I feel so connected. I want to go with you. I want to become a bhikshuk, and I want to gain enlightenment. How do I do it? So his answer remember back in that time, he says, give up attachment to the family life and devote yourself to the quest of salvation completely. So his answer was, my parents, wife and children are all totally dependent on me. I'm the only wage earner, so they would not be able to proceed without me. So what's the answer? So Buddha said, okay, no problem. He had another very close disciple called Ananda with him. So he guides Ananda and teaches Kumara some pranayama where he can hold his breath for some time. And then they do an experiment. They actually put Kumara on a stretcher and put a white sheet on him. In India, whenever there's a white sheet over your head and you're on a stretcher, that is the sign of a dead body, that you are have departed. So Ananda comes, and immediately the family starts crying, the wife, the kids, and the parents, and then all the nearby villagers also come and see what happened. Kumara was so healthy, what happened? All of a sudden he's gone. So Ananda then very quickly just said, he says, listen, I have occult powers, I have special powers, I have ability to put life back to him. And everybody got ecstatic. They said, yes, please do that, we will do anything for that, if you can bring him back to life. Because look at this, how pitiable the situation is. The widow is young, the kids are still young, they have to get married and so on, and look at the parents, they are old, what will happen to them? And then he says, yes, no problem, I can do this, I have that power, but I have to have a substitute. His prana that has departed has to be replaced with anybody. It can be any one of you, from the village, from the family, it doesn't matter who, anybody who's ready to replace and take his place. And so he would have to go, and Kumara would come back to life. And immediately there was dead silence, and the parents looked at each other of Kumara and they said, look, we are in our old age, we have still so many desires left, so many things to do that we have to complete, so don't look at us. They look at the and the kids said, obviously they were very young, and then the wife said, I am what do I do? I have to take care of my kids. I can't leave my kids. If I go, who will take care of them? And so she also refused to go. And the villagers also, each one quickly slipped away, saying they had something to do. So this was the acid test. And then they all decided, the family decided, they said, look, Ananda, what has happened has happened. We can't bring him back. And I think God has a plan. That's why he passed away. And let's move on and grieve for him instead of trying to worry who can take his place to go and whatnot. So we'll cut our losses and move on. And as soon as Kumara heard that, he got up and he just walked away. He did not look back at all. And then he became one of the disciples of Buddha. So my intent of telling you this story is not to leave your home, or not to have dispassion come in, or not to trust your family members. On the contrary, it's completely opposite. It's completely different. It's just understand that you don't need to walk away from yourself, from your family. That was back in old times. There was the old orthodox system. You didn't have the technology, you didn't have the abilities. People were very primitive, and the mindsets were very rigid. So that was the only way to become attached. But what we as saints have to do in today's environment of Kali Yuga is to guide you the right way of connecting with God. And my answer there is, you can do it in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to leave anything. You can keep all your possessions, your family and everybody, but just know that when it comes to you and your soul, nobody can help you. Not your wife, not your kids, not your father, mother, family members, nobody. So it's your responsibility, therefore, to take care of your soul. And that is the essence, and that is the message I'm trying to convey in each of these verses that Shankaracharya ji is so lovingly sharing with us. So I hope you are liking these daily verses, this daily satsanga that you are having with me. And divine blessings, we will cover verse number 7 tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.